Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I just wanted to make a small video for all my Unirep mains for Universal Survival Saga. The Z tiers this season are horrible, but what you can do is use your Unirep characters to build another team, and with that you can still get your 1kcc easily. And I will give different teams. I will give a Frieza Force Unirep team, Saiyan Unirep team, Android Unirep team, and we will go through them together so you will have an idea of a team you can use this season 108 without struggling too much for boost. Now let's get to the first team, and as you can see on screen, it's a mix between Frieza Force and Unirep, and we have here our two free-to-plays as always. Plus we added this free-to-play Broly you can farm like the others in the ticket event, very easy. We have our faithful Angel Golden Frieza if you have him, of course. I added LL Jiren because he's powerful opponent and buff Universal Survival Saga or Unirep. So he's gonna buff all my characters here in the main team. He's also gonna buff all the bench characters. Now the only odd one is this full power Frieza. Of course he's not gonna buff powerful opponent because the tag didn't exist back then. But still he will buff my Frieza Force character like Broly, Angel Golden Frieza or the Green Angel Golden Frieza. The two Jiren missing one Z ability, it's not a problem really because they're getting a Zenkai buff. Of course maybe you are missing some character, I will go through them a little bit and what you can do. Now for Z tiers I've put these two characters in Z tier. This guy, the Frieza, is farmable, so get him to 14 star. If you don't have the metal cooler and you don't have any other Z tier, you can use this Nappa. He's also farmable and you can get him to 14 star. Now, of course Nappa is not optimal. I would say Red Frieza or Metal Cooler are the two best for this team. Now for Metal Cooler you need him at least 9 star, 7 star can do if he's friendship 10. Same for Frieza. Now another option is gonna be this yellow Zenkai Frieza, but maybe you don't have him Zenkai, so it can be a bummer. You can do this yellow Zenkai Frieza and Metal Cooler together to just pick an option for you. If you don't have anyone, you run these two as your Z tiers, and of course you bring your Z tiers for the last 10 fights. I have all the guides in the channel for this season, so go check them out if you want to, and I will tell you where to bring your Z tier for the last 10 fights. Now let's see replacements. Of course these three, of course you have them, we don't need to replace them, they are free to play. For Angel Yellow Frieza, it's difficult to replace because he's buffing everyone, but you can get someone like this free to play Cooler if you want to, and you can run double green. He's gonna buff event exclusive movies and Lineage of Evil. What you can do also is just keep the Angel Frieza if you have him, and you can run this Cooler instead of full power Frieza. Maybe you don't have full power Frieza and it can be difficult. The only problem with this Cooler is he doesn't buff LOE, so he doesn't buff the Green Angel Frieza, which can be a problem and can be a little bit annoying. Now let's put back our Angel Frieza here. Another character you can do who is pretty good in here is this yellow Frieza. Now if you don't have this TOP Frieza, you can run this LL as a Zenkai. You can also run this guy as your second green because he's TOP like the green old Angel Frieza, and it will work wonders. You can also run this a Vegeta. Of course the replacement I'm talking about can be also for Jiren. We can do that and it's gonna work perfectly fine. Let's put back our yellow Angel Frieza because he's the best one if you have him, of course, and we can do that. You can go back to your A tiers. Is there anyone worth it? Of course the Vegeta is worth it if you have him. He's powerful opponent, but he doesn't buff Frieza Force. However, he is Frieza Force himself and he could work in this team. You also have this Survival Frieza who buffs everyone and can be a good pickup. You can replace any of the two, of course, with Revival Frieza too. You can put back Jiren if you have him. He's also gonna work. Let's say we do that, we don't have this Golden Frieza, but we have Jiren. You can put Jiren here instead of this Frieza, for example. Now, the thing is, if you are running Nappa, Just be careful for the Z abilities because he's not powerful opponent. So I would usually sub out this Jiren when you run Rappa because he's still event exclusive. He will get the buffs from Jiren, Broly, and the Green Angel Frieza. He will get the Frieza Force buff. He just doesn't get buffs from this Jiren, which is annoying. However, this Foot Frieza, he will get buffs from everyone. He's event exclusive and he is PO, which is pretty good as you can see here. Himself, he also buffs PO, so he will buff your Frieza and it will be no problem. That's basically the idea for Frieza 4 / Aloy. The best one I think is gonna still be with the Green Angel Frieza, of course. Let's say the best one is gonna be like this. We're gonna put back our Yellow Angel here. And for Z tier, I think the two best ones are gonna be Metal Cooler and this Spot Frieza. Where is my Metal Cooler? And it's gonna be like that. It could work pretty well for you. Now let's get to the next team, and it's gonna be Android Unirep. So for this one, it's a little bit trickier because the characters won't work too much with the bench unit, the two characters we are adding for Unirep. We have this Jiren. Now this Jiren is gonna get all the Z abilities because everyone is either event exclusive or buffing Unirep, which is pretty good. Now let's check Jiren here. Look, he gets 18, 17, his own Z ability, other 18 Golden Frieza and Cell Z ability. Same for Green Angel Frieza. So the main team is gonna get a lot of Z ability. Just the bench, you need to be tactical with it. So what you're gonna do is when you bring one of the Android 14, you will bench one of the Unirep free-to-play characters. For example, we're gonna bring this EX Android 14. He's still gonna buff Jiren because it's blue and purple. However, he's not gonna get the buff from Jiren, but he will get all the other buff, which is okay. Now we don't bring our Z tier until the last 10 match because they are not the best, but they will still be usable for the last 10 match. When you can bring both of them, you will bench both of the Unirep characters still, and they will get all the Z ability. Just be careful, you're gonna have 4 blues, and you don't do that if you're gonna face 2 green enemies. If you face 3 green enemies, for example, there is only one fight with 3 green enemies, which is the Super Saiyan Force. And what you can do for this fight is, you're gonna bench one of your blue units, usually either 17 or Shell, I would say, and you're gonna bring this green Android 14. Of course, green Android 14 gonna get only 4 Z abilities, but we're going to do that to protect our blue unit, and it's just one fight. For fights that have double green enemies, you can still bring triple blue, it's fine. Just don't bring this EX14, bring Cell instead. For stars, this 17 need to be at least 7 star, not 6 star like me. She need to be at least Z7, the free to play need to be 14 star, and the 2 in the bench need to be at least 9 star. I would advise also at least Friendship 5 for the bench and Friendship 5 for the main unit. If you are a Unirep team, Unirep main, you still have these 2 characters as Friendship 10, of course. For replacement, there isn't much to do for this team because there isn't too many good Unirep characters that are Android. Like this guy, he's not good enough, so we want to run him. This 18, she's pretty decent if you have her 14 star, and Friendship 10, she can be run over this second form Cell. Of course, if she isn't like a very high star, like at least 10 or 12, I wouldn't run her, I would run this Cell instead. Now let's get to the next team, and it's gonna be Saiyans. Now for this team, it's a bit difficult to build because you're gonna need some Z abilities for your Z tiers, and Saiyan Z ability is gonna be important. So what we are gonna have here is this MUI who has a Saiyan Z ability. He's gonna be pretty good for your team, has double offense. You also have this guy, he needs to be at least 7 star Z7. I don't have him, so I don't use him usually, that's why. And he's gonna have some Saiyan Z ability too, again double offenses. You're gonna also have the Kale of Caulifla I put on screen. They have a strike attack Z ability for Saiyans, which is nice, and they're gonna buff your Unirep team. You can also have Kaba if you don't have Kale and Caulifla, or if you don't have MUI Goku, for example, you can replace him with Kale and Caulifla too. It's gonna be okay. Now if you are missing just one character, let's say you don't have the survival Goku, you're gonna put either your UI or your Evo, and it's gonna work. Or if you don't have the Zenkai, of course, you can use him instead. Let's say you have Evo, you can put him in your team and it's fine. Same for MUI, if you don't have, you can replace. Now for my bench, I've put these two characters specifically for a reason. I would say most of the time you're gonna replace this Angel Frieza if you're gonna bring Broly in, because Broly is powerful opponent and he's gonna get the buff from Jiren. Of course, he's PO, and he's of course a Saiyan. He will get all the Saiyans Z ability and he will work pretty well. For this Nappa, you can bring him when Angel Frieza is in the team, it's okay, because he's event exclusive and he's gonna get the buffs from Angel Frieza, no problem, and the team will work pretty well. Of course, he's not gonna buff Jiren and Angel Frieza, which is a little bit annoying, but missing one Zen ability is not the end of the world. Of course, you can bring both characters together if you want to. If you do that, I would advise to bench both Angel Frieza and Jiren, if possible, in the last 10 fights. However, if you want some healing, you can bring Angel Frieza in and he's not too low HP and it's gonna work. You're just gonna work around that and you can make a Unirep team who is Saiyan based. Now, if you don't have Broly, you can use someone else, of course, like this Goku, who can work very well. He's actually better than Broly. Even if he has 4Z abilities, he will work pretty well. Same for this 23rd War Tournament Goku. You need both of them at least 7 star, of course. Now, if you have nobody, you can run this Bardock at 9 star minimum. You also have this baby. He need to be at least 10 star, to be fair. His ability is not great, it's just first track attack, which is it's not ideal. I would advise Broly and Nappa. Nappa is free to play, you can farm him. Everyone can have him. And Broly, he's powerful opponent, so he will get the Jiren buffs. And he's a Zenkai, so he will survive pretty well. That's basically it for the video. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. Of course, the Android and the Saiyan team, they don't have too many replacements. But for the LOE/Frieza Force team, you can work around because the PO buff is gonna help a lot. Everyone, have a good one and goodbye. Hopefully this video helped a little bit if you are running Unirep.